After becoming one of the top guilds in Korea, Suho needed a way to humble himself. Due to getting so strong so quickly, he didn't want his identity to change as much because he still wanted to be a Sung. So what better way to do that than go hang out with your grandparents? Now, those of you who have been watching all of the solo leveling videos I put out know that Suho's grandpa used to be one of the strongest S rankers in the OG timeline, where he returned after a 10-year absence and helped his boy Jinwoo during the Monarch War. However, in this timeline, Sung Il-Hwan was just a firefighter until he retired recently to the resort town of Yongpyeong, where not only he and Jinwoo's mother live right now, but Suho's aunt Jinha has also started the top hospital in all of Korea there, especially in regards to mana sickness. And with her being married to Jinho, they are loaded, like beyond loaded. Like they own this town, honestly. Like deadass, if I'm being deadass, they own this town. However, when Suho calls to inform them that he's coming to visit, his grandpa doesn't even pick up the phone. As the silence goes on longer than usual, Suho's instincts start telling him something's off. So Bruz literally runs like 200 kilometers from Seoul to Yongpyeong in a flash. There, he meets his aunt Jinha as they both go to the Sung residence. The house is open, eerily quiet, and there is some slight disarray. An ominous sign considering that his grandfather was known for keeping things organized and methodical. Soon after, Suho visits the local Hunter Association branch, where branch manager Min Do-suk had previously been dismissing any claims of disappearance by saying Sung Il-Hwan might just be off fishing, bruh. But Suho's pressure and family's insistence finally forces the association to admit the truth. The reason Suho's grandmother's complaint about her missing husband was rejected is because they thought he wasn't even missing. This is due to the fact that although not a registered hunter, Il-Hwan had awakened, where he would help out with trouble in the neighborhood for his hunter branch. Later, a witness reports seeing Sung Il-Hwan walking in a direction opposite from the usual fishing spot, towards the area near the Merchants Association, which alarms Suho even more. Basically, for a long time, Jinwoo's father had unlocked his memories of the OG timeline. However, he felt guilty about the decisions he made, especially abandoning his family. Thus, he had vowed to protect them at any cost. With his son and daughter-in-law's disappearance, this guilt factor had boiled up even more, as Hwan was the head of the family now. So when threats emerged in the area of his home, he felt necessary to protect his family, especially considering how powerful he actually was in the OG timeline due to him receiving the ruler's blessing. However, now by the looks of it, Sung Il-Hwan might have chewed more than he could swallow. So with the new lead from the witness tying his grandfather's disappearance directly to the shady hunters group known as the Merchants Association, which Suho soon discovers is a front for the black market operations, bro locks the again. Turns out even the Hunter Association was already corrupted in this area, where things were so peaceful, likely due to Il-Hwan dealing with all the threats unknown to the hunters, that they had nothing better to do. So even the cops were in on the black market, buying and selling stardust necklaces. Suho enters the black market disguised as a demon using the Vulcan's horn. Due to most of the merchants being demons, no one suspected him. Here he joins a fighting ring where Suho claps the crap out of some low-life hunters, gathering valuable information in the process, learning that the Outer Gods cult, specifically the Itarim's apostles, are behind this market. The main goal in the black market was to implant star pieces into humans, magical cores that act as both power amplifiers and faith-based parasitic properties, slowly altering the host's thoughts, making them subconsciously revere the Outer Gods. Inside the black market, they weren't just distributing star pieces, they were experimenting on human hunters to test compatibility. Many gamblers, fighters, and dungeon diving hunters were implanted with star pieces, and those who lost control became zealots or monsters under the cult's command, while at the same time feeding their mana into the Itarim statue at the temple. The hunter leading all of this was none other than the priest of the Outer Gods, Wang Dong-su. Yep, the same S-ranker who Jinwoo turned into his shadow in the OG timeline. He took up the Itarim's offer of power and became their priest. Meanwhile, they kidnapped Suho's grandpa because he had a unique disposition to mana since he was a former ruler vessel. So instead of placing, let's say, one star piece, they put dozens of them all around Hwan's body. But he is a Sung, so these pieces could never brainwash him. Instead, he started clapping the shit out of Hwang Dong-soo. This causes the Itarim statue to crash out, boosting up Hwang Dong-soo's power so much so that he loses all control. But against Suho and his grandpa, who honestly might give Suho a run for his money and strength right now, they easily deal with both of the threats. With the battle ending, Suho uses shadow extraction on a fallen hunter named Kim Chol, yep, the bum-ass hunter from the OG timeline. As the shadow emerges, it doesn't even fight, instantly turning into iron with all the memories and loyalty to Jinwoo surfacing alongside his revival. Furthermore, as Suho defeats Hwang Dong-soo, his soul screams out in agony, not because of death, but after the realization that he had just fought the son of the Shadow Lord. Because remember, Jinwoo defeated Dong-soo and turned him into greed. So when Suho arises him, Hwang Dong-soo instantly becomes his strongest shadow general, Greed. Oh, also, Greed, Iron, and Beru have a little party and they start cheering, "Yay, we're back together, the gang's all together." After the battle, Greed explains that the star pieces embedded in Sung Il-Hwan's body are not just tools for power. They are dimensional rift seeds like miniature gates. These pieces start cracking and Il-Hwan's body begins to destabilize, threatening to become a massive, uncontrollable portal. But not a typical dungeon gate. This one is a chaotic tear in the dimensional space, a void gate unlike any Suho has ever seen before. To stop the rift from ripping Il-Hwan apart, the only option is to enter the void directly, the space between dimensions where monarchs once wandered. The void is described as an empty, chaotic world between dimensions, the space where Jinwoo once wandered with the Shadow Army, defeating monarchs for over 70 years. The moment they enter, Il-Hwan's condition stabilizes, confirming Greed's explanation. High priests and outer god cultists must return to the void periodically or they risk their bodies shattering due to star piece overload. One of the most haunting realizations is that Il-Hwan had become a walking gate, and if not for Suho's intervention, his body would have exploded into a massive rift, resulting in the Itarim invasion of Earth. So Suho makes a firm decision. He will gather the ingredients required to create the holy water of life, a mythical elixir capable of purifying the star piece contamination and freeing his grandfather from the chains of the void. But to make it, he will need some rare ingredients. Luckily, he already has one of them, the spring water of the Echo Forest. The other two ingredients are the fragment of the world tree and the divine beast's breath. Once again, thank you so much. Hit that like button and let's try to get this video to at least 10,000 likes. And comment below SL is a baddie to prove you made it till the end. Thank you once again.